Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Welcome to the Crypto 101 show, where we dive into the world of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, blockchain, and all the technology with it. Whether you're experienced or a beginner to crypto, our goal is to break down complex concepts and make it easy for you to understand the basics. From Bitcoin to altcoins, we'll cover it all in a way that's easy to digest and provide listeners with the knowledge and understanding they need to make informed decisions and better critical thought. Sit back, relax, and let's simplify your understanding of cryptocurrencies on the Crypto 101 show. The Bitcoin Series Part 1. Can Bitcoin fix the system? I need to start off by saying this is not financial advice, so if you're looking for that, the show isn't for you. The content of this podcast episode is for informational purposes only. The opinions expressed here are not meant to be taken as financial, investment, or any other advice. It's been a minute since I released a new episode. During that break, I've been doing what I hope more people are doing right now: learning, listening, and asking deeper questions. This series is the result of that process. What's the true point of Bitcoin? Not just the hype, the price, or the tribalism, but the real conversation underneath it all. Let me be clear. I'm coming at this as agnostic as possible. I'm not here to preach, pump, or shill. I'm here to explore. And my goal, as always, is to be open, transparent, and make the complex feel simple enough to start understanding. In this series, I'm not asking surface-level questions like, is Bitcoin a good investment? Is it the next financial revolution? I'm asking deeper ones. What kind of world does Bitcoin create? Can it actually fix inequality? What happens to the people who get left behind in the transition? These are questions that either I've asked or people have asked me, and they are moral, ethical, and sometimes uncomfortable, but that's why they matter. Bitcoin has become a force in finance, and that's largely because of the growing distrust in the traditional monetary system: inflation, endless bailouts, overregulation, centralization. Some say Bitcoin is the antidote, the path to independence, freedom, and sovereignty. But we have to ask, freedom for who, stability for who, and at what cost or gain to the people who weren't invited to the table before? So let's start from the beginning and see if Bitcoin really can fix the system. Question 1. Is Bitcoin actually policy agnostic? Yes, by design, Bitcoin is policy agnostic. That means it operates independently of political ideologies, economic policies, or government agendas. It doesn't enforce or adapt to fiscal policy, set interest rates, respond to inflation targets, or bail anyone out. Bitcoin is decentralized. No central bank, no government, no regulatory body controls it. It runs on math, not policy. Every 10 minutes or so, it produces a new block, no matter who's in office, what the Fed is doing, or what kind of crisis is unfolding. Where traditional financial systems are reactive to politics and economics, Bitcoin is predictable and neutral. Banks may raise rates or change lending practices based on policy, but Bitcoin, it just follows the code. A fixed 21 million coin supply, verified globally and enforced by consensus. And it doesn't care who you are. You could be a libertarian, a progressive, an anarchist, or even a government. Bitcoin doesn't know or care. It's open to anyone with an internet connection. In that way, it doesn't belong to the left or right. It's a neutral base layer. But here's the nuance. While Bitcoin itself is policy agnostic, its usage, regulation, and perception are not. Governments can still ban or restrict it. They can regulate it as a property, currency, or commodity. They try to tax it or surveil its use, or even adopt it as legal tender, like El Salvador. So yes, Bitcoin is neutral by design, but how it's treated in the real world is still very much political. It's computer code, but code lives in the world we build around it. Question 2. How does it address wealth inequality, or does it just recreate new elites? This is one of the most important and most uncomfortable questions we can ask about Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin absolutely has the potential to create new generational wealth. And like every financial revolution before it, land ownership created aristocracies, oil created the industrial elite, and tech stocks built the Silicon Valley class. That's both a feature and a concern. There are people and institutions in the Bitcoin space known as whales, those who hold large amounts of Bitcoin, often because they bought in early when it was cheap or mined it before it was widely known. Just like early industrialists in oil or railroads, early adopters here gained an advantage. Some of them hold tens or hundreds of thousands of coins. So, does this just recreate a new elite class? It can, if we don't build systems that prioritize fairness, access, and education. But Bitcoin also has properties that make it fundamentally different from legacy wealth systems. Key differences that matter. Bitcoin is still early. Only about 2 to 3% of the world holds any Bitcoin. We're in the early innings and ownership is expanding. Whales can't rig the system. In fiat systems, the elite can lobby, print money, and change the rules. In Bitcoin, the supply is fixed at 21 million coins. Nobody can print more. Nobody can rewrite the rules to benefit themselves. Everything is transparent. Anyone can track large wallets. Inequality is visible, not hidden, behind layers of lobbying or offshore accounts. Decentralization grows with adoption. As more people buy, use, and hold Bitcoin, even in small amounts, it spreads across more wallets and nodes, which are people using it. This makes the network more robust and less dependent on the top 1%. What this means for inequality. Bitcoin doesn't eliminate inequality, but it radically limits the ways inequality can be exploited. In fiat, wealth can manipulate policy. In Bitcoin, wealth still exists, but the playing field is open. Anyone anywhere can save in Bitcoin, custody their own assets, participate in a global economy without permission, and pass value to their family, unconfiscated and uncensored. But none of this happens automatically. It requires access, education, and inclusion. If Bitcoin is only for tech bros and hedge funds, we've all just rebranded inequality. But if it becomes a tool for everyone, it has the potential power to rebuild economic freedom from the bottom up. Question 3. Can it fix what's broken or just shift the brokenness? This question gets to the heart of every revolution that's ever promised change. Are we actually building something better or just reshuffling the power and calling it progress? Bitcoin is often called the fix to a broken system. And in some ways, that's true. The system we live in today is deeply flawed. Inflation devalues savings, central banks control the money supply, bailouts and favoritism reward the powerful, surveillance and gatekeeping exclude the vulnerable. Bitcoin offers a counterpoint to all of that. It has a fixed supply, no one can print more. It's decentralized, no single point of control. It's permissionless, anyone can use it. It's borderless, no passport, bank, or ID required. But here's the truth. Technology doesn't fix human nature. It doesn't erase greed. It doesn't erase fear, tribalism, or inequality. So while Bitcoin can eliminate manipulation by central banks, it can't stop people from exploiting others. It can't stop whales from flexing their influence. It can't guarantee fair outcomes, only fair rules. And once you introduce policy, ethics, and human judgment into the system, the conversation gets more complicated. So, can Bitcoin fix what's broken? Not alone, but it gives us a real shot at stopping the same mistakes from happening again if we do the work alongside it. If we bring broken values into a new system, we'll just rebuild the old one on a shinier new blockchain. But if we treat Bitcoin not as a savior, but as a starting point, it becomes something else entirely. A foundation for a system where fairness isn't given, it's earned, protected, and shared. So this wraps up part 1 of the Bitcoin series. We opened with 3 big questions. Is Bitcoin actually policy agnostic? Does it address wealth inequality or just create new elites? Can it fix what's broken, or are we just shifting the brokenness? And while there aren't always simple answers, what's clear is this. Bitcoin isn't magic, it's not perfect. but it might be one of the most important tools we have to rethink the foundation of how money, power, and access work in our world. Whether it succeeds or fails depends less on the code and more on what we do with it. If the episode sparks something in you, curiosity, confusion, or a challenge to your own thinking, then we're headed in the right direction. Next up in part 2, we're diving deeper into how Bitcoin impacts policy, social programs, and the way we support a functioning society. Because it's not just about fixing money, it's about protecting what matters while we do it. I want to be extremely upfront that I try my best to leave all my opinions out of this. I know this is very condensed and simplified, but I want you to gain your own understanding and beliefs and not be persuaded by me. I hope this helped you gain a better grasp of it. Please remember to share, follow, and subscribe to our mailing list and to your favorite podcast app for future episodes so you can gain more with your crypto knowledge. Thanks for being here. If you found this valuable, share it, tag someone who needs to hear it, or just sit with it. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Crypto 101 Show. If you would like to join our email list, email us at thecrypto101show@gmail.com. For more helpful tips, subscribe in your favorite podcast app and leave a review so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.